fellow 4-H Club members. My name is Phaedra. I lead the Engineering and Tinkering Club at Harris Elementary. Today I'm going to show you a set of techniques that can help you as a foundation throughout engineering design process right now with cardboard and possibly also in your future. We're going to go over some techniques to make cardboard connect to itself without using any glue or tape or any extra special materials, just fancy ways of folding it and tucking things in. Because I don't know about you, but I don't have a whole lot of glue or tape available at the moment, but I do have a lot of cardboard boxes from my recycling, and I do have a pair of scissors. This information can help you doing engineering design process right now because we can build cardboard structures, and I'm going to have a couple different ideas for you to challenge yourself to make, or you can come up with your own ideas. And also this could help you in the future because it ties into woodworking. If you're trying to make a nice cabinet, you're not going to want to have a bunch of glue sticking out, a bunch of extra screws, and so learning how to make things fit together and hinge together can really help you have really nice woodworking skills in the future. So the materials we need for this are very simple. It's just cardboard. You can use like shipping box type cardboard, you can use cereal box type cardboard, you can use toilet paper tubes, pretty much anything that you have lying around, and then you're definitely going to need a pair of scissors. So one of the very easiest things, and you probably see this sometimes done by grown-ups in your life, is if you have a box that's already a box but somebody opened it, you can take the flaps and you can just tuck them together to turn it into basically one giant block. You're going to take the first flap and you're going to fold it in, and then you're going to lay the second short flap on top so that it's overlapping the first one. You're going to lay the third flap so that it's overlapping the second one. And now we're going to lift up, we're going to put our fingers in between these two box layers. We're going to lift up that first layer so that the fourth can go over the third but under the first. You have to usually have to bend the cardboard a little bit to get that to work. So it's not very strong if I try and say step in it right here, but if I turn it upside down, it gets a lot stronger. So you can take these and you can use them to build a castle or a fort. You could stack them in a triangle to do that arcade game where you throw the ball at it. You could build them into the tallest tower. So that's the number one easiest thing, is just to overlap the flaps. Another simple way of holding cardboard into a box shape is, you'll see it all the time on things like cereal boxes, you have this little tab that fits into a slot. Now you can use the box that's already created, or you can make your own boxes to have that same tab and slot if you want to make your own box from scratch. We can also use that tab and slot if we would like to connect two pieces of plain cardboard together. I'm going to draw my little tab first, and they always have that little angle, that little maybe 45 or so degree angle, so I'm going to go with that. Seems like it makes it easier to tuck in. So here's my tab. I'm going to cut it out. This is one easy to do with scissors. Cut, 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 cut. So there's my tab. To make sure that the slot works out with it, I'm going to lay my tab on top of the box I want to make the slot on, and I'm actually just going to mark the points. If you want to do this in a very mathy sort of way, you can sit there with your ruler and you can measure it out either by drawing a line on the ruler where it's going to be. If you have a metal ruler, the pencil just rubs right off, so I really like doing that. Or actually measuring it by inches. So I'm just going to use a straight edge because I did those two dots right here in the crooks of that tab. I'm going to connect those dots to make a nice straight line. Here is where, if you already know how to use an X-Acto knife and you have a straight edge and you have all the right tools, just cutting that line with an X-Acto knife is going to be so much easier. But I'm going to show you how to do it with scissors because if you don't have that. So you could probably your best bet is going to be to poke a hole right near the end of one of those using the pencil And then now that I have a hole, I can stick the tip of my scissors in that hole, and I can start kind of making really small snips at first until I can get the whole scissors to lay flat. Like I said, this part may not be perfect. It's not going to necessarily be the most beautiful cut you've ever made, but it should do to hold it together at least temporarily. So now I have that slot, and it should be the same size as the tab. So like you see with the cereal boxes, if you put the tab in there, it's going to tend to lay more or less flat, maybe a little bit of an angle. If you wanted to use this technique to make a wall stand up perfectly straight, you might want to bend this tab once it's through, so that it gives a little bit more stability. And it's, like I said, it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it's close. So that's how you can use a tab and slot. Another thing you could do is, I'm just going to make this slot a little bit longer while I'm at it. Not too long, don't want to lose the integrity of the outside edge of the cardboard there, but just a tiny bit longer. I'm going to cut this first tab off, and now I'd like to make a wall that's a little bit sturdier than that first one. Here's the edge of my slot, and so what I'm going to do, here's my tab. I'm going to start by cutting one really large tab. Oof. Okay. And then you can divide that tab into a series of smaller tabs. And you can bend it one direction, and you can bend it the other direction. And that way, once we slide it through, well, actually, I guess we need to bend in the same direction for now, but then slide it through. Slide it in, and now you can bend one to the left and one to the right. And that'll give it a little more stability in either direction. So you can have something like that. You can create a wall, you can create like a T-junction this way. Now that you have seen some techniques for how to make cardboard connect to itself, I challenge you to make something really cool of your own. You could make a tallest tower, you could make a castle, you could make a dollhouse, you could make a bridge or an arch, you could make a robot, and I'm sure you have lots of cool ideas of your own. And if you do make something that turns out really cool, go ahead and share a picture with us and tell your parents about it, tell your friends about it. You know, you can share it with your teachers in your class, and get to engineering. Have a great time. Thanks.